Before the Kardashians or the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or the elite real estate brokers at the Oppenheim Group attained reality TV stardom, there was the Duggar family, who became a nationwide sensation thanks to their hit TLC show, 19 Kids and Counting. Led by patriarch Jim Bob Duggar and matriarch Michelle Duggar, the Duggars were the epitome of the Christian fundamentalist life. After all, the family of 22 followed a conservative Christian organization known as the Institute of Basic Life Principles, IBLP, which preached obedience, discipline and even world domination in the name of God. On screen, the Duggars encapsulated exactly that. Their 19 children were meek and compliant, never raising their voices to their parents or going against their orders. To many, they were the blueprint of the ideal American, Christian family. It didn't take long for that picture-perfect image to shatter when in 2015, the family's eldest son, Josh Duggar, was accused of molesting 5 younger girls, 4 of whom were his sisters, when he was 15. Years later, Josh was sentenced to about 12 years in prison after he was convicted of receiving and possessing child pornography in December 2021. Here are the 8 most heartbreaking revelations from the series. 1. Josh Duggar molested his sisters, beginning at the age of 12. Jim Holt, a close friend of Jim Bob, and his wife Bobbie Holt recalled that the Duggar family patriarch had approached the pair and told them that Josh had gotten into some trouble and touched his sisters inappropriately. Jim Bob later clarified that his eldest son had molested his sisters, which he had been doing since he was 12 years old. At the time of this revelation, Josh, who was just 15, was dating Jim and Bobbie's daughter, Kaylee Holt. Josh also asked the pair for their daughter's hand in marriage. 2. The IBLP curriculum taught slut-shaming, rather than math. Drawings of women, and they're wearing various different outfits, recalled ex-IBLP member Brooke Arnold. Children were then asked to identify the specific eye traps, things that might attract a man's lustful attention, in each picture and what they could do to alter them. And so you circle, oh, it's the lace right here. Oh, it's the mid-calf leaf shirt, Arnold continued. Instead of learning math, you're learning slut-shaming. The booklet also admonishes women who wink, saying that men and boys who fall to her whoredom are stripped of resources and vibrancy of life. 3. Jill said she regrets doing the Megyn Kelly interview. In 2015, news broke that Josh had molested 4 of his sisters and a family friend. Shortly afterwards, Jill and her sister Jessa appeared on Megyn Kelly's The Kelly File, in which they seemed to downplay the abuse they faced at the hands of their older brother. In the documentary, however, Jill revealed that the interview was merely the family's attempt to get to where TLC would be cool moving forward with this show. She continued, "The Megyn Kelly thing. I don't even like to talk about it because it's not something that I'm proud of. If I hadn't felt obligated to 1. Do it for the sake of the show and 2. Do it for the sake of my parents, I wouldn't have done it." 4. Jim Bob made Jill secretly sign a long-term TLC contract. Jill recalled that on the day before her wedding to Derek, she was approached by her father, who asked her to hastily sign a contract. "I just saw the signature page. It was like on the end of the kitchen table. Like, hey, I just needed you guys to sign these," Jill said. "We were literally running through the kitchen, and it was like whoever you could grab on the way through. I didn't know what it was for." 5. Jim Bob offered his older kids a lump sum if they signed another contract. On the topic of compensation, Jill said she never received any payout while on 19 Kids and Counting, and the spin-off series, Counting On, which ran from December 2015 to March 2021. "No check, no cash, no nothing," she added. "For 7.5 years of my adult life, I was never paid." It was only when Jill and Derek refused to return to TLC that Jim Bob offered the couple money to be on the show. The specific amount, however, was just a measly $10 an hour for filming. Prior to the offer, Jim Bob had offered some of his older children a lump sum for their participation. 6. IBLP founder was the subject of a major sex scandal. Back in 1980, Bill Gothard, the infamous founder of IBLP, found himself at the center of a major sex scandal after his brother, Steve Gothard, was accused of sexually harassing, abusing and preying on his female employees. People are coming forward and saying that Steve has sexually abused and harassed multiple people in the office, said pastor and journalist Josh Pease. So what Bill did was take his brother, send him out to a campus that has even less oversight than the main campus of IBLP, and then leave Steve to basically do whatever he wants out there. 7. IBLP's disturbing law of crying out. IBLP members had to follow the law of crying out, which basically says that if a woman doesn't cry out to God while being sexually assaulted, she's at fault and equally to blame as her predator. God has established some very strict guidelines of responsibility for a woman who is attacked. The law read, she is to cry out for help. The victim who fails to do this is equally guilty with the attacker. It's a teaching that basically resituates sexual assault as the victim's fault, Arnold clarified. The law greatly influenced IBLP members' ideas about rape and assault, so much so that many believed being assaulted was a sort of gift from God. Heather Heath, an ex-IBLP member, recalled that she and her fellow followers were once asked if they had been attacked, molested or raped, and if so, what they did to deserve it. They glorified being attacked. Would you rather have never been attacked and not be spiritually mighty? Heath continued. And I almost became jealous of my friends who had gotten raped because God wanted to use them more. And that's so weird to say out loud. 8. Jill and her cousin are no longer in contact with the Duggars. Everything within the family dynamic has shifted and not for the better, Jill said about her relationship with the Duggars following Josh's conviction. They don't talk to us, said Dylan King, the husband of the Duggar children's cousin, Amy King. And so for us, we don't know what's going on. We typically find out what's going through People magazine, through In Touch, through E! Thanks for watching.